going to be talking about how to research and design your first $100,000 print-on-demand product. And as you know, we do love ShineOn as a print-on-demand partner. So again, if you don't have a ShineOn partnership and you aren't signed up on Shopify with your store ready to go, ready to run advertisements, then I highly suggest you go back and check out the rest of the series. It is 100% free. I would like to give you some inspiration with the $1 million phrase matrix. And these phrases, which we'll talk about a little bit later, have earned they're components of message cards that have earned sellers millions in revenue and hundreds of thousands net profit. So that's going to be completely free down below, but stick around to the very end because we do have more bonuses. And guys, I sincerely hope you enjoy this video. Let's get straight into it. So I'm extremely excited, guys. This is probably going to be the most valuable video that we've created yet for the ShineOn course, and I'm going to be giving you that $1 million phrase matrix. And for every comment left below, for each person that leaves a comment, I will donate a meal in your honor to No Kid Hungry. And so the idea, guys, is hopefully we get 1,000 comments, and that way I can donate 1,000 meals to No Kid Hungry. And this is a way that, you know, you could either ask a question about the content, or you can literally just leave a comment telling me what your favorite color is or what you're watching on Netflix and obsessing about right now. But the more people that comment on this video, the more that I can donate, and the more that we grow as a community. So I truly believe that this is going to be a super beneficial, super valuable video for you. And if you leave a comment below, you will also be doing some good in the world. So thank you. This would literally not be possible without you. And just as a disclaimer, No Kid Hungry is not affiliated with Profits on Demand or this content or this channel. I'm just donating on behalf of the community. So let's get right into it. This is going to be good. So first of all, broad market conditions. We know that being in a print-on-demand business and being in the print-on-demand industry is beneficial right now. One thing that you want to look for when you're deciding on what kind of online or offline business to run is it scalable, and is the market growing or is the market dying? Is the market declining or is it exponentially increasing every single year? Are more people entering into the audience demanding your service or your product, or are people leaving every single day, or is it flatlined? Is it about average where it's at? For example, the newspaper industry is declining rapidly. Every single year, the amount of people that read newspapers goes down, whereas the amount of people that subscribe to Netflix and Hulu and streaming services, I would imagine, have been increasing exponentially. So that's an example of a declining and a growing market, and how you're going to struggle even with the best product in a declining market. You're going to struggle. But the thing is, the amount of people that are coming into the markets that we're selling into are typically growing way faster than the amount of sellers coming in. And guys, you have to remember also, there will always be a new fan. I have a fundamental belief that there will always be someone who enters and exits into your markets. There are always going to be people shifting in opinions and interests. And so I just want to show you this slide to give you an idea of the market size of print on demand and show you that it is something that is growing. And guys, just a few years ago, really the only products for print on demand that we could sell on were like t-shirts and mugs, and that was, you know, pretty much the extent of it, maybe some pillows or whatever. Now literally we have print on demand pop sockets, phone cases, hoodies, blankets, you know, you name it. We have literally metal art, print on demand metal art that you can design. I would expect by 2030 we're probably going to see even more products available for print on demand for sellers like us to offer to people who are looking for personalized goods made in the United States with a handmade component or a personalized component, and that demand is only going to continue to grow. So let's move on. This is specifically from ShineOn. This was Q4 2021. If you aren't already aware, Q4 around the Christmas holiday shopping season is where most e-commerce stores make a bulk of their sales. I could pull up Google Trends and I could show you how demand is kind of stable, pretty stable up and down, and then all of a sudden around Q4 it literally goes exponential. The demand for gifts, especially that we can offer, skyrockets. So this is especially important to look at the niches that people were selling in for ShineOn for Q4, because if we're going to go into our research phase to find what six-figure product we want to try and sell, then we need to understand the data. Data doesn't lie, guys. This was Q4 2021. What sold the most? Daughter, mom, soulmate, son made up about 70% of it, 65 to 70% of sales. You can see that wife made up another 8.5%, bonus daughter 8%. This is the data from last year. Daughter absolutely crushed it. Mom and soulmate and son and wife and bonus daughter also did well. So now we can look at the last 7 days. So literally right now, half of ShineOn sales are coming from granddaughter niche, and that would be like grandma to granddaughter or grandfather to granddaughter, and the daughter niche. So both of those combined make up about 70%. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you're gonna research something that you feel like you want to aim for $100,000 or more off of a print-on-demand product, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna find a winning example people in the marketplace that's already getting feedback that you can draw inspiration from. And you need to look at the data and understand what niches are buying at the moment. And right now, granddaughter and daughter are the two main niches. That doesn't mean you have to design for those niches. It just means that ShineOn is literally telling us over the last 7 days, these are the people that are buying. These are the products that are selling. So someone else might come in and argue and say, hey, we should target soulmate because almost no one's targeting soulmate. But I would come in and argue, we're looking at sales volume and actual critical data. And these are sales compared to hypothetical speculation that maybe soulmate might work. But what I would advise, if you're looking for your first 100,000 six-figure product, you're going to want to go with the flow, not against the flow. You're not going to want to try and do something completely different and radical. You're going to want to try and build off of what other people have already succeeded with. Find some sort of way to make a better offer for these products and these phrases. Over on the left, the seller spotlight of the week also adds to our theory. They're in the granddaughter niche. Their average order value is $53 and their revenue is over $140,000 with gross profit of $86,000. And now that we know what niche we want to target, I'm going to stick with granddaughter because that's what the data is telling us. I highly recommend you also go that direction as well, or daughter. We can go ahead and go into phase 2 because now we have our general direction or our general niche. Now, one of my favorite resources for researching print-on-demand products is Etsy. It's actually easier to use than something like Facebook ads because you're not given a lot of information on Facebook advertising and the Facebook ad library as to, you're not given a lot of data as to if it's working or not. It's important to research on Facebook because that's directly where people are placing their advertisements and directly either succeeding or not succeeding. But Etsy is actually where I end up finding the majority of my winners. Whatever niche you're in, there will be print-on-demand, personalized products that you can draw inspiration from. So I'm on Etsy. I typed in granddaughter necklace. Now we're going to scroll down, and what we're looking for is essentially bestseller tags or a popular tag or something that's letting us know that this item is getting viewed a lot and it's getting purchased a lot. So right here we have one that has a popular now tag. Let's click on it and check it out. So it says over 20 people have this in their cart, and it is a bestseller and it is popular now. So this is an example of a design that we definitely want to investigate further. They have over 3,000 reviews, and this shop has made 121 sales in the past 30 days. Now that could be on their other products. So what we want to do is down here, this review section, we want to see at least 20 reviews for this specific item. And they have 22, so this is good. A lot of the times your really, really hot products will have over 100 reviews, but 20 is still fantastic. So there are 3,000 overall reviews for the shop, but we only care about the reviews for this item. I actually like to go through the reviews because it helps me understand who's purchasing this item. What do they care about? Are they caring more about quality or price? What complaints did they have? Who did they give this gift to and for what occasion? For example, this review down here says, the infinity heart necklace bought as a gift for my granddaughter's 16th birthday is absolutely beautiful and exactly what I thought it would be. I can't wait to give it to her. So this was a 16th birthday gift for her granddaughter. The highest return on your investment is going to come from the products that you select, the phrases that you select. Obviously, the long-term investment will come from treating your customers correctly, delivering fast service, delivering high quality products, building a consistent audience on social media. We really want to find a message card that has a lot of potential that we could scale on both Etsy and Amazon, but more specifically through Facebook ads, because if it's worked really well on Etsy, if people are purchasing it and positively reviewing it on Etsy, then there is an audience on Facebook that will likely respond the same way, but you can spend money to capture their attention and get sales much faster than you could on Etsy, generally speaking, most of the time. There are examples of people doing extremely well into the six figures with one product on Etsy, but generally it's a numbers game. You're going to have multiple listings that are pulling weight and making sales. Whereas with Facebook, you're typically going to have one flagship product that sells the best for you. And once traffic comes to your website, you're going to have some recommended products down at the bottom that they might choose to shop with. Your main best-selling design is going to be what you advertise and consistently get sales on. That's generally how it works with Shopify and Facebook, and it's because your advertisement is just going to optimize. The more that it spends, the more purchases that you get over time. But one reason I love Etsy so much is because they directly tell you, hey, here's what's popular, here's what's selling, here was the last review, and the review before that. They are telling you the direct history, the direct data as to what is working and what people are buying. And guys, what people buy can change year to year. So make sure you're seeing products that have recent reviews and recent bestseller tags and everything else. Sometimes you can bring an old product back but a lot of the times they're just products that have already had their surge. You want to find products that are still entering into the surge phase. Ideally, they haven't been advertised on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok yet. Let's keep looking. Take the time to do your research and you're going to get a better end result, which is more sales, more revenue, higher average order value, and overall, you're going to be able to build financial freedom through your print on demand business. And also, while I'm here, I would like to point out that the store Bella and Blush has 68,000 sales. And let's take a look at what they actually have to offer. Wow, look at this. They're offering personalized jewelry that, you might give to a bridesmaid or a mom or for a baptism or for an aunt and niece. So guys, pay attention if you're going to sell on Etsy, pay attention to some of these more specific niches. Maybe you don't go for granddaughter, maybe you go for the wedding niches. That seems to be their bread and butter is, maybe they get sales and they get a maid of honor and a bridesmaid. And I would just like to remind you guys that there's huge potential with this market. There are people making a lot of money just on Etsy, on Shopify. I could show you similar stores on Amazon that are doing fantastic. Again, if you find a store that you like, click on their name and look at their recent reviews. Come down here, see what's selling. If you see a similar gift that's been selling over and over and over again, you might have something interesting on your hands. So I almost forgot, if you're not seeing the reviews in chronological order, you do have to come over here and change it to sort by most recent. Overall store reviews and see if you can see a pattern in the products that are selling. For example, this one sold back to back pretty quickly to completely different people, and it's a big sister and little sister necklace. It has the bestseller tag, has over 20 people that have it in their cart, 471 reviews for this item specifically. Guys, what does that tell us? That means this one message card, this one product just on Etsy has sold at least 471 times, and that's just the people who have reviewed it, which most people aren't going to review it. So this product alone for Bella and Blush has probably sold at least 1,000 units, if not more, which is huge. This is just Etsy. So you might want to screenshot this one and see if you can do something with this, because this one seems to be a hot product selling now. So this gets really interesting now. So this big sis, little sis necklace, November 22nd, November 21st, 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 20th, 18th, 18th, 18th. Guys, these are just people reviewing. So there are tons and dozens of other people that are actually purchasing this item and then not leaving a review. So this is an example of a winner. This is something that you might want to try out. It has all of the signs of a classic $100,000 plus product. Bella and Blush is doing amazing with this, and ShineOn actually offers a very, very, very similar necklace. So all you need to do is take the research that we've done today, create this design in Canva, and then upload it to your ShineOn Shopify store. Let's see if we can find another winner on Bella and Blush and see. So don't forget to sort by most recent, and let's see which one is selling consistently here. This one is doing really, really well. It's very simple. This isn't a typical card that I would recommend, but it seems to be doing very well. It's probably partially because of how simple it is, but it is a friend necklace, and it says, "I would shank a bitch for you," right in the kidney, and it's just black text on a white background with a black border on the edges. Again, 20 people have this in their cart. It is a bestseller. This item has had a high volume of sales over the past 6 months. That's literally what Etsy is telling us here. Since sales the 22nd, reviewed on the 21st, November 21st, November 20th, 19th. This is an example of a winning message card on Etsy. And again, I do highly recommend using Facebook as a research tool, but Etsy just gives you so much useful information. And once you find a shop that is doing well, you can essentially look at what they're selling the most by going to the review section, sorting by most recent, and then clicking on the cards that are getting consistent sales back to back. Guys, I'm just giving it all away today. This might be a longer video, but I'm just giving it all away. So take action, make sure that you're actually moving forward. And when you do create designs, use research, use data, use these tools to come to a logical conclusion that you're not wasting your time experimenting with something that may or may not kind of work because you kind of like it, because you saw some other random seller selling it. No, find multiple pieces of data that point to the conclusion that you are going to succeed. So I think that covers Etsy research for now. In a future video, we will be going over even more products and even more ways of researching and finding bestsellers. Now I'm going to come over to the Facebook ad library that will show us real time what ads are being ran in this niche so that we can get some inspiration. And so if we're on the Facebook ad library and we notice that a particular advertiser, a particular store is spending a lot of money on their ads, then we know that they're probably profitable, because the way that this works is we send out some test ads, we get results, we cut off stuff that doesn't work, and we scale up things that do work. So if we see another advertiser with 10, 20, 30 advertisements running for the same product, that probably means that they're making money on it and they're scaling it up. So it's a product that has high potential for the six-figure mark for ourselves. And again, we're not going to come into the Facebook ad library and copy someone's ads and copy someone's products word for word. We're going to come in here, find inspiration for what's working, and then we're going to make it our own and make it unique. So I typed in "to our granddaughter" and there's 7,600 results. So I'm going to focus on the results that advertisers are paying the most for, because that probably means it's a successful product. And the first one that I spotted was this hug ring. There are 93 ads made around this ring running right now, which is probably $1,000 or more a day, which means they're probably making $3,000 to $5,000 a day if they're profitable. But because we don't necessarily offer that product, I decided to continue searching. And it doesn't mean that we can't get some inspiration from the message that's revealed on a product that isn't ShineOn related. But take a look at this product over here that has 25 ads running at once. We're on their website, and as you can see, it's clean. The message is really clean and simple. It's on a white background with black text that stands out. The necklace really stands out pretty easily, and this seller is absolutely crushing it with this design. So I think this might be the design and the product that we move forward with. So notice the reviews and the social proof that are available on their product page. Guys, you have to have reviews on your product page. Yeah, since this advertiser is running 25 different versions of this phrase and this product, I'm going to assume that it is selling well and that it might be worth testing and gathering inspiration from. So I can actually go and view the other ads that Tiara Beauty Company is running. So if we're going to take a look at some of the other products that they're advertising at the moment, maybe they have something else that we're interested in. They even have one running here for "to my wife" that has 74 ads using the creative. And then they have another one over here on the right, "to my daughter," that is using 31 different ad placements. So this advertiser is scaling a few different designs. They might still be kind of in the testing point, but they've been running these ads since October and have scaled many of them. So these are probably some good designs to draw inspiration from. And something that I noticed, most of the designs that they are scaling, that they are running, are white with black text. And I have to say that for myself personally, that is the best way to go. It's just easier to read. It's easier to see whenever you're scrolling. And maybe if you have a masculine product you're selling to a man, you might consider going with a black background and white text. But generally speaking, colors don't do the best. It's best to stick with a white background and black text. This is a visual way of understanding which colors to use and which ones to match with font and background, because ultimately we want people to be able to read the message. The message is 80 to 90% of what's going to pull the weight on the actual sales of your products. So if they can't read your message, it's not going to sell. If they can't connect with your message emotionally, it's not going to sell. If your design distracts from the message itself and the design is all over the place and can't focus on the message because they're too busy looking at the design, then they're not going to purchase. So phrase is everything. So use colors that complement the phrase, keep it simple, make sure that the phrase isn't covered up by the jewelry. It has to be framed in a way that whenever someone's scrolling and they see it, it's not covered up by the jewelry piece where it needs design elements. White and black is going to be what you need 99% of the time. Again, remember, we want to get the attention on the phrase. So I found our inspiration that we're going to draw from, and now we are going to actually create the design itself inside of Canva. If you don't have Canva, I highly recommend it. It is free to use, and the pro version is very affordable if you ever need the pro version. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and right off the bat, we're going to change the main font for granddaughter. So this is going to be, believe it or not, is going to be the main thing that catches attention whenever someone's scrolling is the recipient name. If they are in this niche and they are going to be touched by this message, that might slow them down. Have a headline that creates some curiosity, or have a headline that asks a question so that they kind of have to stop and engage. I'm just going to go ahead and add in the actual phrase in the text itself. I changed the words that were bolded, and I changed some of the sentences to be a little bit simpler and a little bit lighter. Generally speaking, you want to simplify messages if you're going to change them. You don't want to add on to them because, one, you're going to run out of room, and two, generally simple is better. Obviously, with this message, we're fitting in many components. There's the "I can't promise I'll be here for the rest of your life, but I can promise to love you for the rest of mine." And then the second component is, wherever your journey in life may take you, always be brave and strong. Which, by the way, guys, these phrases are on the phrase matrix, the $1 million phrase matrix. So get that sheet from below and mix and match these phrases and see what kind of message cards you can come up with. That was like 4 different components that we mixed together to create this card. I do highly recommend to experiment with some of your message cards. Sometimes you'll want to keep it pretty close to what you know works, but other times experiment, create, keep it simple, but be sure to create something that maybe someone in this niche hasn't seen before. Maybe they've seen this message 100 times, but if you can put your own unique spin on it and create something unique, then this will stop them from scrolling. And sometimes you see products that get ridiculously low cost per clicks, and it's usually because by the time you see really high link clicks, it's probably because 1, your ad is just bad, 2, your targeting may be off, it's not as much of an issue anymore, 3, it also could just be that people are already so aware of your product that they don't even really see the need to go on to the product page, because they're just ignoring your ad and they're not going to go on and click on it. So that was a random rant, but here is our message card that we created based off of the ad that we found on Facebook that Tiara Beauty Co. was scaling. So this is what we ended up with. Highly encourage you to also create something similar, put your unique spin on it, and test it out. So I'm also going to include this document over here on the right down in the description below, and it has the fonts that I like to use for titles and messages, and it also gives you a visual of what they look like. I'll leave that in the description below, another freebie for you to grab. But essentially with this chart, I would try out different fonts, Madeline, Caveat, Buffalo, try out all the different fonts, see what looks good, maybe even create 2 or 3 designs with just the fonts changed based on if I think maybe 2 or 3 of them are worth testing. So that's how this document works. Be sure to download it for yourself. So using Canva to find different design elements is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You can just select the element that you'd like to change or add, and then it will come up with a bunch of suggestions that you can try out and just have fun. Just use use your best intuition to understand that creativity is fantastic and it can set your design apart, but at the end of the day, simplicity is what wins. Readability, being able to read the phrase and connect with the phrase, is what will ultimately cause someone to purchase gifts. It's not going to be a red heart versus a black heart. It's going to be the phrase. And typically a lot of the times the design can turn off some people. Some people aren't a fan. It feels cheesy whenever there's flowers and hearts and stuff like that over a card. So a lot of the times it's better just to stick with something plain. But for this example, I do show you how you can change the colors on these elements to whatever you like. Maybe we change it to gold to kind of make it stand out a little bit. And yeah, you can change this and alter it however you like. So as you can see, once we adjust the line spacing, it's much easier to read, and that could literally be the difference between this product selling and not selling. So don't forget to take a look at the spacing that you have. So this is what the product itself actually looks like. We have the connected hearts necklace from ShineOn and the message card that we just designed in the LED light up box. I'm going to list this on many different marketplaces. I'll show you in a minute why, but our primary marketplace is going to be Shopify combined with paid traffic. Now, if you don't have an advertising budget to start out with, you're going to want to start with Etsy and Amazon, and there's nothing wrong with that. I also, they get billions and billions of visitors every single year. So start there. Don't, sometimes running advertisements is difficult to get started. It could be the fastest way to scale, but it can be one of the most difficult ways to get started. Don't completely get turned off to the idea of print on demand just because you ran a couple Facebook ads and it didn't work out. I would highly suggest getting established on Amazon and Etsy, and that way you're getting sales organically and not spending money on traffic. And then once you are ready, you can take some of those profits and spend it on traffic and scale your Shopify store. The reason I recommend having a Shopify store connected with ShineOn is because that's where all of your base products can exist. They can exist starting out in your Shopify store that is integrated with ShineOn, and then from there they can be published to Etsy and Amazon, and it's all linked together instead of it all being scattered. Instead of there being multiple different marketplaces and platforms that are all you have to manually place the orders. No, Shopify store connected with ShineOn, and then you can connect these products, make the product one time, and then connect those products everywhere else. So I have a slide talking about the importance of these different channels. Let's go ahead and take a look. If you don't have your Shopify store, go back to some previous videos in the tutorial, go through those step by step, and I teach you how to do that. And then you might want to look into organic marketplaces and traffic. For example, Etsy and Amazon are 2 marketplaces where you can take your products, list them to these marketplaces, and Etsy gets 4.5 billion yearly traffic, and this was 2021. This is probably going to be a lot higher this year. Amazon gets 36 billion yearly traffic. But both of these marketplaces are filled with people coming specifically to buy products, to buy gifts, and these marketplaces are growing every single year. Etsy and Amazon invest a lot into their own advertising budgets and collect, they are focused on the customer experience, and their repeat customer rate is like 80-90%. So those 2 marketplaces that we can push our products to to. And we do have a tutorial up for Etsy and how to set that up, so go watch that video. And we will have a video tutorial for Amazon soon too. Let's talk about Pinterest. So if you post your products on Etsy or Amazon, use Pinterest, create Pinterest boards and join group boards. Pin your products onto Pinterest because there are 12 billion yearly traffic. There are a lot of users on Pinterest. My wife uses Pinterest a lot, and it's just like it's another search engine that you can get indexed on. Speaking of search engines you can get indexed on, Google 950 billion in yearly traffic. So with your Shopify store on your product pages, if you implement SEO properly, then Google is going to send you some of its traffic. Now, I wouldn't rely on SEO entirely. I would stick with the organic marketplaces and with paid ads through Facebook and TikTok. Create some blogs, polish up your product descriptions to make them look clean and not keyword stuffed, and then create a unique product description, and you'll probably get indexed on Google and get some sales every once in a while from Google, because 950 billion yearly traffic and growing. There are going to be a lot of people searching for gifts on that platform, and some of them could end up on your website. Here's the $1 million phrase matrix. 20 phrases that were used in 2020 and 2021 as a component of $1 million revenue jewelry design and a 6-figure net profit design. This is data-driven evidence of phrases that work. I wouldn't recommend going in and just using one of these phrases. I would recommend one, taking inspiration and making it your own and making it unique, but more importantly, combining these phrases to find unique combinations that people are interested in and that people can emotionally connect with. So be sure to download this document. This one, you've probably seen this a lot if you've done any research in the print-on-demand industry. I didn't give you the gift of life. Life gave me the gift of you. I may not be your first date, your first kiss, or your first love, but I want to be your last everything. These are all examples of phrases that have done extremely well for sellers in the past. So download this document. Super excited that you joined me for this video. Leave a comment below so that I can donate a meal in your name, and subscribe so you don't miss any future content, because we have a ton of content coming your way. Have an amazing day. Until next time, create something awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.